Hello everyone, I'm Joe and welcome to my cooking channel, which doesn't exist yet. Just a little bit about myself. I'm new here and I'm somebody who likes to cook and experiment with cooking, and is regarded by the few people that I cook for and myself as someone who's kind of decent at cooking at least. And today I wanted to do an experimental recipe that I've never done before. So I'd like you all to go on an adventure with me, a nice cooking adventure, and watch what I do, and you can criticize my cooking methods all you want in the comments, and hopefully we'll all learn something. We can maybe learn that my methods are trash and that they should never be used to make anything like that again. So I'm going to start off by cutting up this shallot and garlic. I'm using the shallot and garlic because that seems like that would be something that would go in this sort of thing. And I'm using this much garlic just because that's how much I have left from the last thing that I did. And I am cutting it up now because I am slow at cutting things up. And this shallot was a waste of money because it is all mushy and kind of gross feeling. It's like all tacky. And I'm not going to use it. So this isn't going to have a shallot in it. So that's all in the spirit of this video, is that things go wrong and we have to adapt and overcome. So onto the garlic. And cut like that and pull it apart with my fingers. Watch me struggle. That's all part of the fun. Just watch how much better I could be at cutting garlic, and think about how much better. You can tell me how much better you are at cutting garlic than I am. And I'll be like, wow, that person on the internet is really good at cutting garlic. Okay, cloves are peeled, so I'm just gonna hack at random like a peasant. And there's probably a better way to do this. I always try to start off kind of organized. Well, I mean, this time I didn't like even try at all, but I always end up just hacking. So that's what I'm gonna do. And there we go. It's ready to dump in the pan at the point where we're gonna dump it in the pan. And to this saucepan, I'm gonna add a box of pasta and enough chicken stock to cover it with. You know, you can use water, but if you're somebody who buys a whole bunch of chicken stock at once with no plans of using it or how to use it, then you should use that up before it expires in a couple months. I'm using the method where you wait for it to get up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and you start the timing once it reaches that. And we're gonna let it boil or sit in the 170 plus degree chicken stock for 8 minutes. And I'm going to use some kitchen shears to chop up some bacon into a cold pan. I want to start it while it's cold so all that fat melts out and it lubricates itself nice and good. There we are, heat is on medium. And once the little bit of fat oozes out of there, we'll also throw our chicken in. The bacon is going pretty well. Just kind of spread that grease around. I'm going to throw some chicken thighs on there too. About 3 of them. Because that's what the pan seems like it'll accept. Maybe I'd fit another one, but we'll just start with 3. This might be a disaster, as I said, so we'll be conservative. And I'm just going to kind of agitate the bacon a little more than I agitate the chicken. I'm going to let it the chicken just kind of sit. Maybe I'll jostle around back and forth just so it doesn't get sticky, doesn't stick to the bottom. But who knows, I could be completely crazy. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack an egg and use the yolk as an emulsifier. And the game plan is to emulsify the bacon fat and all the other good stuff with some buttermilk to make a nice consistent creamy sauce that we're going to add dill weed to. We're going to use dry dill weed because I'm a bum, but I also, just because this is an experimental recipe, I didn't want to pay like $3 for fresh dill when I could just use the thing of dry dill that I have sitting around. So I'm going to smash this yolk up and stir in, I don't know, hopefully not too much buttermilk, but it's gonna, I hope it's supposed to be like that. It's very thick. It smells okay, but I've never had buttermilk come out that thick. And the yolk's just kind of sitting at the bottom. Maybe this is a terrible idea, but I hope not. And the chicken breast is a little stuck must have happened while I was over there playing with my buttermilk. Oh, this is going to be great to clean later. Okay. This better be worth it. Maybe it would have been better just to cook the chicken in olive oil, but you know, using the same pan. And check the temperature of our pasta is boiling, or not boiling, but it's at the correct temperature. I'm going to turn on the kitchen timer for 8 minutes. So potential mistake that we made, that I made, is that I started the pasta too early, and this chicken might not be done by the time I want it to, because I'm going to be moving this meat out, and then I'm going to be dumping that buttermilk mix in and making a sauce, and then also dumping in that chicken stock to add to the sauce. I'm worried that the sauce is going to be too thin. I think I put too much liquid in here. That chicken is falling apart, which actually might be a good thing. Timing might actually work out pretty well. We're at 147, yeah. And I got 3 minutes left. Okay, this one's 180. That one's 160.
Turn the heat down to low. Scoop these out. This one needs a little more time. The bacon can come out. 145, 150. It'll cook a lot faster. I just smash it to smithereens. There's probably some cook somewhere just rolling over in his grave watching me make this. And I'm sure some of you are too, but you're not dead yet, so you're not in your grave. But you know what I mean.
Bacon grease is the single greatest thing ever invented by mankind. Poke it with a stick. See that it's close to 160, and you know what? It's going to be sloshing around with some boiling hot liquid eventually, so it's going to be fine. I'm going to take that out too. And I'm just going to let that fat sit in there and turn the heat off for the moment. Okay, so we're down to about 30 seconds on our pasta water, and I'm going to turn the heat back on here. And then this is where I think it's going to like not turn out that great. We're going to throw in some garlic here, which I almost forgot, because I tend to do. And we're just going to be on low heat and let that get kind of all translucent kind of thing. Bacony garlic. Just going to scrape that around and turn off the kitchen timer. We're going to turn off the heat to this, and hopefully it doesn't overcook, just kind of sitting there. But you live and learn. And we're going to dump this buttermilk egg mixture in here and turn the heat up a little higher. And just kind of stir that around like so. Oh yeah, look at that boil. Bubbly, sensational creaminess. And it's burning my hand. The steam is burning my hand. Hopefully it's all worth it. And then all the yolk kind of sunk to the bottom, and then it's all like that. And we're probably going to want to let this, okay. So it's sitting there on medium, and then it's all cold, because I probably should have let the buttermilk warm up to room temperature. Right now we're also going to throw in some dill weed, about as much as I think is enough for such a thing, because I'm smart and I looked at the ingredients on bottles of ranch dressing, and I've realized that ranch dressing has dill weed, and I probably put too much in. And then I'm going to do something completely ludicrous, and I'm going to drain this pasta into here, like thus. And that burned a little bit, but oh well. And we're going to crank the heat up a little more even. Oh, we're getting a nice boil here, and it's turned into soup. This is going to be awful. I don't have much faith in this right now. And then I'm just going to dump all this meat right back in, because why not? I'm just kind of chopping these chicken thighs up with a spoon, just because I'm just sitting here staring at a pan of boiling liquid, and I just need something to do. So this isn't looking good, so you know what that means. It's time for last resort, cornstarch slurry. So we're going to do a little bit of this, put it in like so. Grab some water. So we're going to add cornstarch slurry to this. Stir quickly. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take this pasta and dump it in like so, and wish we had a bigger pan, and it's all clumpy. Don't splatter me. And now I've switched over to my backup camera because the card filled up, and if I lost any of this, we saved the day with some cornstarch slurry, and it's actually looking pretty good after we dumped all our pasta in and stirred it up with it on the heat for a few minutes. So let's go ahead and dig in. Okay, so I'm going to just awkwardly shout at you from across the house because this camera doesn't have a microphone jack in it and my SD card is full. So I want to show you a genuine reaction of me eating my food. Not bad. Kind of what I expected. Maybe a little too much dill. But not bad. Yeah, the cornstarch slurry saved the day. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, and I hope to make more videos like this in the future. Hopefully they'll be better.